Hey, what are you so tickled about?
Good
What are you
evening,
so
everyone.
tickled about?
I'm just between watching the game and everything, just trying. And technology, you're right, and technology will drive you crazy. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome again. We are Diversity and Equity in Education. All right. My name is
Or
Denise
her right,
Cardion, and to
April
my left
Cobb.
is
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
right.
We back at it. We back at it. And yes, stand on our consistency.
Yes,
So we have a lot to talk about tonight. Let me get these
correct.
good glasses on though. I am not at home, you all. I am doing this
Hmm.
multitasking thing while outside and yeah. Next time I will bring that iPad they be talking about that's so conveniently and capable of doing magical things that I find challenging. So yeah, I'm outside.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think the most thing I've ever done with the iPad is charge it. I don't even use that. It's like I had it there one day for style, just to say, "Hey guys, I'm actually
Right,
using it."
right.
But I
Even the
mean,
one
I
that
can
we
put it
have
back
at
in the
work.
box
Yeah,
in
it's
just a
like,
second.
yeah,
Wait, I'm gonna take this because all I see it's just using up more of my Wi-Fi connection. That's all I see it doing. I'm like, that thing is off and upstairs. Okay. Anyhow, good evening, everybody, and welcome. We are back again. This is our again the third week in the month of October. We want to start off this evening with our quarter one reflections. Yes, reflecting because the quarter is officially over. And this past week was the first week of the second quarter. So we just want to let you know that, pay attention. Report cards are coming up. We're going to get to those dates in a minute. But April, let me start with you. What are your reflections on
so,
the first
with
quarter
my
that has
new
just
role
gone?
not being in the classroom, but still very much engaged with our youth, our scholars on campus, I will say that um, they're showing up. Let's start with there. So that's a plus. Our attendance definitely have been on the positive side of things in comparison to last year. But I do know that we have to keep in mind last year we had undergone some very troubling times when it came to those hurricanes and so on and so forth. So some of the kids, it was a hard time for them to get back because of their unfortunate circumstances. But I will say that our attendance is better. But and academically wise, it appears that a lot of our scholars are taking their academics seriously. We still have that small percentage that just, is just gung ho with thinking that education is not at the forefront of a priority, and the only thing that we can look at that as if is parents don't see it as a priority because again we can only do as much as we can. We just met these children now since August the 10th. That's been a 9-week period, so everything that has been delivered to us on the bus via car or however their whatever transportation they get there, we have known them less than 6 months. So yeah, just a couple of months. So again, we're doing the best we can with what we have. So again, that's why I would say that we're off to a good start. However, we're going to get to when it comes to the uptick in our students, a lot of our students aggressiveness and disruptive behaviors as it relates to being on the bus. But we'll get to that later. How about you, Denise?
I would say that okay, being still in the classroom, I would say that uh, I think the quarter went relatively well. You have again, you have little pockets of kids. Usually, like the same 2% of the kids, the same kids that will be the disruptors. And so once you're trying to work around those disruptors and things like that. But those are the little mini challenges we have in terms of the kids being focused. I agree that they are trying very hard. I think we had an excellent first
Yes.
quarter turnout of the PM one. And a lot of my kids, now I must admit that I do have a lot of advanced students as well, but a lot of my kids did very well on PM1. So it's just a matter of keeping the kids who are the bottom quartile, pushing them up, and then also keeping the ones who are already there, keeping them up as well. So I think that it went well. There are a few kids who parents are all I can say to you is keep your information up to date. So because it's really crazy when parents are shocked because this grade looks like this or this grade looks like that. Well, we communicate to you, we reach out to you. All of your information needs to be current because we're reaching out to every single number on there, and we also put things in Canvas. We can't keep on stressing enough that it's live, real time. you should be able to not be shocked when you see these results, when you see the grades or the lack thereof. Okay. So I think that's pretty much how the first quarter was. We did pretty well, and report cards are coming out on the. Ooh, when is it? April. Report cards will be out on the
Correct.
27th of this month.
So please,
Okay?
and if you have not had the opportunity, parents, at this point, we know that focus has been had its it's kinks, I will say, but that's with any new software, anything new that we are going to be utilizing for the first time. So, go back if you have not had an opportunity to get on to establish how to stay in tune with the grades for your children. Because remember, Focus could tell you every period that your child is tardy. It could tell you when they, their attendance, grades. Does now I don't know this for a fact. Does it connect to Canvas and do grades real time or no? Not yet. Right.
You have to sync everything. So I'm not sure. Like I know I constantly sync it just to be on the safe side. So I'm not sure if it's always 100% syncing all the time. But I know I will sync it specifically right before the quarter comes to an end. So so I'd prefer that they look at Canvas, because Canvas is the more real time grades for me. But I mean, yeah. Now in terms of the other stuff, now I got to say the attendance. There's no way in the world you don't know your child has been tardy a particular. Because I can look in there and see where this kid was tardy, and I ask him. I said, "You've been tardy to all 3 periods. It's already 5th period, and you've been tardy all day. What's going on? How you know that? Well, I can see it. Okay, so those things are there. So parents just be aware. So when teachers are calling you and telling you this child is tardy, this child has been tardy several times. We can see it throughout the entire day, and just like the same way we can see if somebody showed up late to school, or if they actually were absent first period, and now the rest of the day they showed up. You can see that one class where they were absent, but they showed up for the rest. So it's a sensitive system, but it works. It works if you do it right. Okay. So now in terms of behavior, let's talk about the student behavior. This is the thing. Okay, and was it you sent me the what parents? I want to know in the chat. I want y'all to tell us what you think 6-7 mean, because I'm so sick of hearing this. 6-7. I mean, on and on and on. And parents, I guess you hear it in your house, but they will try. I'm language arts, so they're trying every way they can to incorporate it. We ain't got to page 67 yet, but I'm quite sure the pain in my heart that will correct in my heart that's going to show up when it comes to this 6-7. And now my friend
that
here
was sent to me from a science teacher, and if you look on the scientific, what is it called, the scientific chart.
The science,
elements chart.
It says elements chart.
For number 6-7, it says that the kids are trying to call the teachers HO.
Right, but what is the actual scientific element? Listen, that one blew me, because I don't think they thought that, because critical thinking is not a friend of our children. But on the scientific scale, correct? 67 is the element.
No.
Did we even look this up to see if this is true?
Oh, the element chart is definitely true.
We gotta look this up before I say
and those are the initials for it, the H and the O. Yes, it is.
Holmium. H-O, holmium. I asked my brother. Holmium. And it is 1.169.930 on the elements, the whatever. So this is what
that's what the kids have come up with. I think it's just like 21. It was something that was said, and it stuck with them. So one thing about it, our children, our scholars, are capable of making things go viral. Now, if we could only get them to, collectively come up with something that's going to make a true shift, change, or whatever it is in their era, to be able to make it go viral, that's what we need to get them to do.
I will say, when I asked them directly, they showed me. They were like, this is the rap artist. Some artist I don't know, obviously. But it's an artist who says that in his song. So what I thought it came from was from a particular rap artist that the kids say, and he says it just like that. So I was like, okay, but I'm so sick of it, I can't stand it. I just want to in the soft part of your throat. I'm just so tired of that. It just irritates the crap out of me. But at least with that, right? Yes, just take flight, just snatch them. Just snatch them up. I'm snatching right out the classroom. Yeah, but the thing about it is, I mean, that's annoying. You know, like we had we just recently did a forum, I guess, again a town hall with our kids, just reviewing over a lot of the rules and things like that, which I feel is necessary. You should always do that every single quarter, just a reminder, especially for new kids coming in. Hey, this is what happens over here, but. Kids will do little annoying things, but then there's things that are actually disruptive to the learning environment. Those are the ones that you gotta focus on, and those are the ones that we gotta figure out. You know, we have tiers of this is the first tier behavior, second tier behavior, third tier. Okay, my question is, when does it get to a point where it's time for you to go? Because some of the behaviors are so disruptive that it's like, I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things. One of the things that we have that we've been seeing a lot of is the issues on the buses, and we were seeing particular just I think a lot of kids think that they can fight more so because it's off campus, or they feel in their mind it doesn't connect to the actual school.
So I
What
want
are
to
your
go
thoughts
back
on that?
before we dive into that, if you don't mind. Let's highlight some of the behaviors that we're
Mm-hmm.
referencing to when it comes to on campus that are disruptive, because I think sometimes there is a misconception that everything a child does is considered disruptive. No, that is not the case. So let's be specific on what we're referencing when
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about disruptive. So imagine a teacher has begun their day and the bell work is there. The children have entered the room. The expectation has already been set at this far into the school year. So the child understand a teacher's systems if that teacher has great classroom management and also understand the importance of designing a flow to where the classroom can manage itself without anything being said at this point. And that is an effective way of work for a teacher to establish for their scholars. So again, bell work is already there. So an example of disruptive at that point would look like what, Denise?
Disruptive would be like, okay, well, I can't find a pencil, so I need to get up, walk around the room, look for a pencil, even though you know the pencil box has been there since August. Now I got to go sharpen said pencil, and now I got to sharpen it 4 or 5 times because it just doesn't sharpen mine. Or I need to ask everybody around me for paper when you don't need to ask for paper. You got a notebook right there, okay? Or you come in late, and now you want to disturb the entire class because you don't want to find out what's going on, but the structures are already there. So those are classic examples. Or another thing is constantly talking over the instructor. Okay, I'm giving you 10 minutes to give you the instruction. Now we're starting to move into independent work or group work, whatever. But you talking and talking and talking, and your talking has nothing to do with the lesson. It has nothing to do with it. It's all about who did something, who fighting, who girlfriend, who did. You talk about everything but. And now the teacher now have to go sit right next to you. I'm just picking one particular student in my class. I got to go sit right next to you just so you realize, hey, guess what? I was actually teaching here. I was doing that. That's what I was doing. That's my bad that I'm interrupting you from what you're trying to say. But the rest of the class, these are
And
what they're
then that
talking about.
goes back to what
So
she led
excuse me.
into, that now, after the bell work, the instructor has now proceeded to begin providing lecture on what it is that we're getting ready to do for the day, the objective. This is what we need to go over in order to you to be able to go lead into the lesson. So now the entire time that the teacher is
Right.
teaching or lecturing, in order for the child to be able to independently or doing work in collaborative groups about said assignment, they have taught the entire
Mm-hmm.
time. So now when it's time to go into the assignment, the first question or the statement they said, I got a question. I don't know what to do. You ain't tell me nothing. Now
What
it
we doing?
becomes
What we doing?
completely focused on that one up to about 3 children. It's never no more than that. If you have a very structured learning environment, it's no more than
Mm-hmm.
like 1 to 3 kids in most cases that have completely derailed from what it
Mm-hmm.
was from what the lesson is designed to do.
And then on top of that, you'll have so you'll have those situations where, and they want to create problems because also remember, this is a child that wants the confrontation. They want to be off task. They want to create a problem. They want to focus on them. So here it is now. You got to make a decision as a teacher. You got to make a decision whether you're going to say I'm going to engage or I'm not, or or do things like proximity. Like I will just sit right down next to you. If you need that much attention, I'm sitting right next to you. The rest of the kids know what to do, but since you need that attention, let me give it to you right now. And a lot of times they'll be like, okay, now like I don't need you that, and then they shut down. But you also got to pay attention to. So on the other end of the spectrum are the kids who are the quiet kids. They're kids who will quietly fail the class. I have one who is an artist, will draw every single class period, will draw and draw and draw. I haven't done a stitch of work in a notebook. And then get mad at you because you actually want them to work. When you open up the notebook, we're like on page, 30-something, 40-something on our notebook. This child on page 1. Every single day you will not do what you need to do. So those are the ones that quietly fail, but they're not a behavior problem, but you got to watch them too. Because you will sit there and quietly fail if you don't pay attention to them. Because they don't talk, they don't disrupt the class, but they're not learning. Because they want to do whatever they want to do. So again, this is only 2 examples. And you have to go through every single period. And you have to keep in mind, remember, you juggling a lot. You're juggling a lot in your day. So again, just I like for people to pay attention, just be mindful of how many things teachers got to go through in their day. And this is just only a few examples. We're not even talking about the ones who will physically, I don't know what it is with kids. But again, parents, I'm trying to stress to you, do not let your child confuse physical abuse with affection. I don't know what's going on with this. I watched this school year alone. A little girl get punched in the face so hard till her glasses flew off her face. And she turned around and tell me, we just playing. Oh, this is my boyfriend, we just playing. Well, I don't know what to tell you, parent, but you raising a child that's living for being physically abused in her life. So, and I tell these kids, you got to learn to love yourself a little better than this. Because if you think somebody punching you, kicking you, dragging you down the hallway is cute, it's not. There's no part of that's cute. And we talking you getting hit like a man punching you, like somebody owe you some money. That's how hard you getting hit. And they all think it's cute. So I just want to let you know, I'm going to say something, but when they get mad at me, I'm like, understand, I tried my best to help your child.
And to elaborate on that a little bit, often when we're in the learning environments and just on a school campus and even on a school bus, there are times when kids use the terms, we're just playing. But if when viewed from the outside, if a parent were there or a child's guardian, they definitely would not see that as playing. So when teachers or educators or any staff member intervenes to say, don't do that, stop that, so on and so forth, it becomes challenging when the person that is being injured or hit or abused, in so many words, don't take ownership for that as being a problem. It's challenging to correct the other child that's doing it to them. And that's something that we see more so than it should be, and primarily for our female students. I don't know where that new being hit like that comes from, pulling hair and so on and so forth. And it's not just at our school site, it's happening all throughout our district. At any school, you can see that. And unfortunately, like I said, the one that's on the receiving end of that, a lot of times, will say we're just playing. No, that's not just playing. That's not playing at all. Because if your parent were here, your guardian was here, they would not condone you being treated that way by one of your peers. So again, parents, it's very important to stress to your children that it's not okay. And that's not playing, because what starts out as something very small and minute, how they see it right now, it turns into something to bigger later, because they become conditioned to think that is a sense of normalcy, and it is not. So just something to kind of pin right there, have those conversations, because trust and believe, when we hear often, what was the teacher doing? What was the adult doing? What was da-da-da-da-da doing? Ma'am, sirs, and all of the above. We have tried to correct it. But when the child or the, whoever it is on the receiving end exhibits that it's okay, then they send in a mixed message to the other child or children, because sometimes it's more than just one child doing it to them. So again, just speak to your children to provide clarity on the fact that it's not okay. It's not okay.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, again, parents, and remember, we know your kid. Your kids gonna come to school and get mad at me, mug the teacher, and all
We
that
have to
stuff like that.
protect the
I
kids.
don't care about all that. What I care about is the fact that look how you went home and you didn't get slapped up today. Now I've actually helped you. Okay, I know you don't like that, but I've actually helped you today. Okay, so anyway, talking about again, things that happen. I mean, when the kids get aggressive and frustrated like that, there's a lot of factors outside also of school. So we see what's happening in the world today too as well. So just we do understand the frustration that carry on from home spill over into the school, but just trying to work with your kids and explain to them that we just care. We care about them. Let's talk about which leads to the ABA. We're talking about ABA and
So,
services.
I'll speak very briefly on it because, again, for those that know, and for those that don't, go do your research on it.
Mhm.
Because unfortunately, when individuals identify that something does not affect their children, that it doesn't affect them. Remember, all of our children go to school together, whether it be gen ed, whether it be special ed, whether it be 504s, ESE, whatever it may be, all of them collectively go to school together. So whatever it is that affects one child, it affects all children. So ABA therapy is a service that's provided in most cases to children that have been diagnosed with autism, and also it's extended to children that have been diagnosed with ADHD and so on and so forth. So I speak to the issue because my grandson has an ABA therapist that goes to school with him on a daily basis and provides services. I think it's like 20 something hours per week. And unfortunately, that service is not welcomed at all school sites. Unfortunately, principals have the autonomy to identify if a ABA therapist can come on campus and provide um, services to a child that legislation has already identified deemed appropriate to do so. But since we do not have, I guess you could say, policy in place to align with what legislation says and, to streamline it for our district, principals have that autonomy to say, yes, I'm going to allow ABA therapists on campus, or no, I am not. And unfortunately, who is penalized in the end? The child. So I will
Mhm.
say this: there is conversations that is going to be happening at the upcoming school board meeting, to where, again, like I started out earlier saying, is that just because your child may not necessarily need a ABA therapist. Remember, your child is also in the classroom with children that do. And in the event
Mhm.
those children do not receive those services and teach them the necessary coping skills, how to interact socially, because they're not there for academics, they're there to help them with those specific skills, which then turns into behavior distractors and so on and so forth. Then again, it impacts all children. So again, take the time, research ABA therapists or ABA services. It's legislation. Our district just must get on board to be able to make sure that we are aligned so that all schools are treated, all schools are equally being capable of providing these services to the children that have been deemed appropriate for it to do so, and just do it. It shouldn't be a conversation. Just do it. Oh, so, and if you
Correct.
want to learn more about it too, there's a group, Project ABA. Tamara Perez provide a very good job with providing all the updates and legislation and resources out there to be able to support your child, or just to simply learn the more about ABA. So again, do your due diligence with anything else you should be doing, and learn about something that impacts all children, because in the end, just because they don't need the service, it still impacts all children.
Correct. Hmm. Thank you. Thank you. That's great. Let's talk about our school dates. Do we have some information on there for our school dates? Well, definitely the first one on there is, well, the fact that the quarter ended last week. Now, this week is the beginning of the first quarter, second quarter, I'm sorry. We know that report cards are going to be coming out on the 20th. And thank you. There it is right there. Report cards are coming out on the 27th. That will be, is that this week? This week, Friday,
Mm-mm.
right? The 27th.
Is that
Or
this
is it
Friday?
next week?
No, it's next week.
No, tomorrow's the 20th, so it's next week. I
It's
think it'll
next
be in the
week
middle of the week,
sometime.
but
Not this week coming up,
yeah,
but next week. Uh-huh.
the next week. Okay. All right. So the 27th would be our report cards. But then again, parents, what we want to encourage you to remember is keep up with the Hillsborough County School, the
Calendar.
Hillsborough County Public School, the calendar, but also the website. I know the kids might have a calendar. Even as teachers, they give us a physical calendar, with those built-in hurricane days. Thank you, Lord, that we haven't had anything.
Thank you, Lord.
But thank you, Lord. I'm going to tell you, so grateful because we just ain't ready. Okay. Um, but just the fact that, stick with the website, because the website has the most current, up-to-date dates and information that you need, all the events and things that are coming up. So what we have on here that's coming up for you is Veterans Day is going to be Tuesday, November 11th. So that is a non-student day. Be aware of that. Okay, keep the babies home. Also, the beginning of our fall break is going to begin on November 24th and runs through the 28th. So that will be our fall/Thanksgiving, however you want to call it. It is also a non-student day. And then we also have the various dates on the calendar here. But again, we encourage you to please go back to the HCPS website, because all of the dates are available. And if anything that changes, for example, school board meetings, anything like that you may want to go to, just make sure you do that. You go there, because that information is up to date and accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And of course, it lists also the early release days too, because sometimes you'll get confused about the early release days. So far, we've been hitting them early release days. Okay, parents, that they are still active and available. April, talk to us about the Great American Teach-In. Let's go there.
Ooh. So under my current job title as the community resource teacher, I am tasked with, which I love doing, and taking the charge on Great America Teach-In, which this year is on Thursday, November the 20th. Remember, Great America Teach-In is an opportunity for all of us to be capable of coming in and possibly sparking the interest of one child in a classroom that could change the trajectory of their overall life. So again, you come in, you're excited, you provide details about your current careers, or you could come in and tell about your past history and now your current in a positive light. You could do it however you want to, as long as it is in alignment with age appropriate content. And again, the goal is to get our kids, interested on careers, because everybody can't be an NBA, NFL, NHL athlete. Everybody can't do golf, cheer. Everybody can't do all those things. Everybody also can't be the doctors, the lawyers, the police officers, the judges. Right. Everybody can't be the custodians, the teachers. You go on and go on and go on. So that's why it's important for us to give them a smorgasbord of, opportunities or knowledge about the various careers. And there's no career too small or no career too big. The ultimate thing is that we need you all to sign up. Not only for Jennings, for any school that's in your community, where children in your community attend school. You would be so surprised how they would be excited to see your face at their school saying, "Oh, I know Mr. John, he live in my neighborhood." So again, we have gotten away from that, and we definitely need to, do your part. If it's just that one day, and it don't have to be all day at any school. You could go for an hour. You could go for, I think in elementary, they have it where you could go for at least it's like 30 minutes. So again, it's up to you. Just do not discard the opportunity to just do something. But if you want to come to Jennings, our link, our flyer information is going to be displayed. I think, I'm not sure how Riverside still works, but it will be displayed with the QR code and the login link. And for us, you could pick 1 period, 2 periods, 3 periods, all morning session, all afternoon session, whatever you decide. Middle schoolers need to begin having that those thought-provoking opportunities placed in front of them, and we're here for it. So again, sign up for teachers Great America Teach-In, November the 20th. You got time, you could put it in. Most jobs even provide opportunity for you to utilize that as work time. So again, no excuses. Do your parts.
Exactly, because we've had everything at my last school. We've had Busch Gardens, we've had Publix, people come out there. We had a lady did AI. They were just showing. We had the police department came out. We just had so many people out there, and so it's important that you don't understand. We're looking for. Listen, I hear them. Let's throw this out there. Sustainable jobs that are truly sustainable. Yes. Because let's be real, just like what April started off talking about with a basketball player, it's less than 1% of people who will actually make. Remember, it's the top 1%, and then 1% of that 1% are the ones that make it all the way to the NBA, or through nepotism, because that's the only reason why LeBron and Bronny are in there. That's nepotism. So you have to understand something, right? No, but I mean, we're being realistic. You have to be the cream of the crop, and then the 1% of the cream of the crop. So let's keep our children, help our children think sustainable now. Sustainable jobs include HVAC, because when that AC go down, I'm gonna throw everything in my account to make sure that the AC is running. You're talking about plumbing. You're talking about electric. That's why I'm thinking we need to go out there and recruit from the HCC and what's on Hillsborough Tech on Hillsborough
Irwin.
Irwin Tech, okay? Because those right over there, these are jobs that, again, if you lose a job with one company, they're going to pick you up on the next one. You're not going to be unemployed with jobs like that because of the fact that those are sustainable. Those are things that people need. They need refrigeration to be working. They need air conditioning. They need plumbing. You need an electrician. Those are jobs we ain't going to do. I mean, those are just three jobs right there. I know if you're a homeowner, or if you know anybody that has big businesses, they need those people. All right, so just think about that. Just come on down to Great American Teacher and talk to us about your careers, because I'm telling you, you open kids up to a wide range of experiences. Okay, and then also, you throw in there a little bit of community servicing and politics stuff. Like the kids just need a variety of things. Okay. So we just want to plug that in for you.
And to chime in really quickly, what you said about the sustainable jobs. Right now, HCC, is running a campaign, and I don't know who they're partnered with. I don't know if it's with the CDC, but it's some organization locally as it relates to mechanics. So therefore, they are doing a class for mechanics, and I want to say it's stipend based. And I think it's $13,000 or something like that. I don't know all the fine details, but I know that that lets you know a lot right now as well. Yes, we buy the cars. Yes, we have to maintain the car. Shade tree mechanics can't do it anymore because they don't have the equipment or the tools to be able to work on these new fancy cars. So again, we have to be able to have mechanics to be able to keep these cars running. Because if we could send a shuttle to space, there's no reason why we should have no broke down cars, and we're gonna leave it that alone.
Right. You're right.
We should never have to buy new tires except for like every 10 years.
Right, because come on.
Anywho.
They were using shuttles too. So they send one up, reuse it, and send it right back.
Right.
I'm like, how? So why I can't keep a car 30 years then? If that's what you're telling me, I should be able to keep a car for 30 plus years.
Right.
I mean, come on. Y'all play too much. Y'all want us to replace cars like you do with them iPhones. I ain't never gonna fall for that trick. My phone will last 9-10 years.
They force us to get new phones though when they start lagging and the updates don't work properly. Yeah, that's just how we be doing, head to the side. What?
What? Over a phone? No, it got 4 cracks. Wait till it get 5, then I might think about it. I can still, as long as my finger ain't bleeding, across the top of the screen, I'm good. I can still use that phone. I'm like, I got 4 broken tablets. They still work too.
Swipe the corner.
You're right. Speaking of projects and bloody fingers. Okay, now let's talk about our projects that we got coming up, right? I just will tell you, first of all, we just had our first club day at our school, and it was just awesome. And you all know how I do. Please go ahead and send them on in. We are working on bags that we're creating for the upcoming 2 sessions, a hygiene bag, 1 bag for, of course, our food bag that goes home during the wintertime. So I'm always looking for things like that. My goal, well, actually I had 24 girls, so they all showed up. Nobody even missed club day. And so we're always looking on the lookout for snacks, for little trinkets, things we want to add into the bag. Girls love the top 2 things so far, little rubber band. Hold on, I even got a sample. Little bands like these. I'm looking up. What does one say? Love. It says never stop learning. I'm looking at it. Bands like these and Croc Charms. I can't tell you how many Croc Charms. They just crazy about them Croc Charms. Okay, so things like that, lip balm, hand sanitizer, lotions, things like that. And we're always creating and putting things together for the girls. We're also on the lookout for, again, if I see if my friend is out there, we're looking to do a paint and sip with the kids. We're trying to do we're doing a floral arrangement class as well. We are going to do just a bunch of things. And we're also looking for books that are catered towards girls of all races, whether it's books of poetry, whether it's books of on just positive books that's uplifting for them, for girls. So I remember this year I have a variety of girls in my club, so it's not all one race. So I definitely want to have as many books as possible that feature all races of girls. So I'm just so excited about it. So that's our big project right there coming up. And of course, always focusing on reading. Please, I'm encouraging everyone to read and read and read. We have the Scholastic has the book fair that's coming up. Please make sure that you, and I think that the book fair should be all across Hillsborough County. I know at our
It
school,
is.
our book fair is taking place next week, and we are so encouraging you parents to go out there and or encourage your children to buy books, buy everything that they have out there. There's so many little neat things that they have to go with the books. Now, back in the day, my father could give me $20 and I could have come up with 4 books, a poster, and some change. But nowadays, but I will say this. I will say this, right? These books now, they have some graphic novels that are amazing. I mean, they don't have the same type of books that we used to read back in the day. So please encourage your kids. Just give them slide them a little cash. Let them come home with a book to be extra happy. Okay? April.
All right. So projects for me would be all things kids. All things scholars. So as it relates work related projects is again going to be my number one focus is Great America Teaching. Again, I'm charged with making sure that as many classrooms as possible have a individual that is willing and excited about sharing their career. So again, if you're interested, please do not hesitate to reach out to me as it relates to getting you the necessary link to register or answer any questions you may have. We also have the holidays that are coming up. So any organizations that you may know of that are interested in partnering with us at Jennings to be capable of doing our 50 families for Thanksgiving and 50 families for winter break or Christmas, whichever, we try to keep it anyway.
Universal.
So so please reach out to me as well. We have a couple sponsors that are have already committed, but that just done a small dent into the fifth number of 50 that we have. And with the way that the economy is, and with the way that the shutdown is definitely coming, to where the food programs, the food stamps, SNAP, supposedly is not going to be dispersed in November. I cannot imagine what that's going to look like for the number of families that attend our school site, because keep in mind, we are a CEP school, which means 100% of our students receive free lunch, or I should say free and reduced lunch, but everybody receive free lunch. So as I cannot imagine what that's going to look like. I do hope and pray that they do something or have some type of plan in place to offset what is getting ready to just happen outside of our control. Because what I look at, these are millionaire problems. These are millionaire concerns. These are things that the small population, the large population of us don't even get to fathom. When the government don't do this for me, then it shuts down everything that I have to be able to provide to my family. So I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'll move on from that because I could talk so much about that. But families, I hope you're prepared and, did the necessary planning for if the government does not provide those food stamps or whatever it is, the program is that they're shutting down. What are you going to do? Did you stock up on the things that could, keep your family fed until then? Have you identified the food pantries in your area so that you can make sure that you grab, key pieces to be able to make, some meals? So keeping in mind that we have a food pantry at our school site. It's a community food pantry, and it's open every Thursday from 10 to 11. So again, we're here to support our families and the community. As it relates to personal things, also our clubs, like with Denise, the club started Blueprint for Girls, and we also have another girls group there called Grace, the Cheer Club, and there's one more. I can't think of it, but again, our ultimate goal is to do the hygiene bags across the board. That's something that I've always done at Jennings as well. Through the hygiene bars, everybody would have their opportunity to do it their own different ways, but we do want to plan for at least 100 girls because that's the number of girls that occupy these programs. We also want to do a holiday social for the girls, and again, each program would do it their own way. But we know some lip gloss; they will rub that lip gloss until their lips are raw. They love a good lip gloss, and it's inexpensive things. Lip gloss. They love lotion. Y'all know what they love too? Vaseline. Now they love the Vaseline because they want to have glass skin. I was like, what? So those little containers of Vaseline, that's like money to them, gold to them. Scrunchies.
Mm-hmm.
smell good lotions, the
Yes.
body sprays. It doesn't take much for the girls. And
For girls
again,
and socks. We
yeah,
love
and
those
socks,
colorful,
fluffy
funky
socks. Yep, they
socks.
love socks.
Hmm.
So again, we
Yeah.
will be putting out our call to actions and creating those
Yeah.
Amazon wish lists, because again, it takes support. You know what I mean? The uproar with the whole class wallet was a whole situation. I'm not eligible for
Mm.
class wallet anymore, so boohoo for
That's
me. I'm
crazy.
like, every time I turn around, this new job keep taking money out my pocket. What's going on? I went from,
That's
look, being
terrible.
an effective teacher, took them 7,500. Now the
Yeah.
class wallet, that's a 300. I'm like, wait a
Exactly.
minute, we just creeping up, and I can't see no makeup. So what we doing?
I don't know, but I will say this, like, just to go back to your point about parents, are we looking out for are you looking out for the kids? What are you doing? I want to say this, right? D- Parents, really have serious sit down conversations with your kids. Explain to them, like, right now, money shouldn't be towards frivolous stuff. Nobody don't need no Jordans right now. Nobody need no PlayStation. Nobody needs all these the type of clothes, Labubu, all this crap that they talking about, right? Because and talk to them about the economy. Talk to them about, hey, the government shutdown. You gotta have a real conversation with your kid, because kids gonna have expectations that we're gonna have this. But sometimes you might have to say to the kids, there is no Christmas this year, because we don't know about the government, whether the government is gonna give us what we need to survive. Survival is more important than Christmas toys. Okay, so it's really important that they you have that conversation with your kids. Lights, having some lights and some water, them is gifts. Like I said, take a bow, put the bow on the light switch, hey, we got Christmas. Okay, that's it, because we need to make it. All right. So again, it's horrible how the way we living right now, and just what's in front of us right now. I mean, we like April said, you could talk about it forever, right? But we have to start saying, let's look within to our community. Let's start looking at the resources that we can share amongst ourselves. Really try to uplift each other, because these are looking at dire times. And just like you said, it's a billionaire problem. It's sad when people do have the money to solve the problems, and they don't want to assist. So it's just, look, or hoarding the money for what? I mean, if you're trying to hoard the money to try and harm a particular group of people, you need to pay attention to the numbers. Again, Black people, still only 13% of the population. You got to look at the largest, quote unquote, minority groups, which is Hispanic. Then you also got the ones who also take the stamps as well. That's white people. So sorry about that, but you ain't hurting. You hurting a group of people. That's not us as well.
It's being classified as a race thing, but it's not. It's
It's everybody. It's everybody.
it's who make the least amount of money. It's a group of people, like you
Exactly.
said. But
Exactly.
to align with what other things are working on, just look out for the parent code. There's a lot more to come. Definitely trying to get that launched to a space of being able to provide information to support parents, to where it's a go-to spot. It's a go-to to where it's more than just sporadic information put out there. It's a consistent. So look out for that. But other than
Mhm.
that, that's all I have.
That's all I have. But I will throw in this last part. Parents, stop buying Stanley Cups, because we got a collection of
Oh,
Stanley Cups and lost and found. And let's be real. I mean, you just giving them away to us for Christmas. That's basically what you're saying, because the kids don't come back and get the Stanley Cups. There's Stanley Cups everywhere, parents. That's one. Two, it is the second quarter. Please, can you clean out that backpack? Please check them gym shorts. Clean out the backpack. Please get some Febreze, bleach, Clorox wipes, all that, because we know your child has stuff in there that has been there for weeks. Okay, weeks and weeks and weeks. And all we can say is, again, finally, what our producer Bianca says to us, parents, check the phones. Check the phone. Check your child's phone. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. They claim ain't no phones in school, but I ain't going to lie to you when I say I've seen some school fights. So you say there ain't no fights in school, but how I'm getting the upload, how I'm seeing it on the Twitter feed and the TikTok and the YouTube, and how am I seeing all that? Them kids walking around with their phones. So hey, so
and before we get off, parents, the buses are a problem. The number of fights that are happening on the buses,
on the
children
bus.
climbing across seats, kids under seats. There was a very bad accident that just occurred for scholars that was
Mhm.
preparing to come to our school site. And I think it was a couple of the children was injured, because unfortunately it's 3 to a C, but I won't say anything about that. But
Mm-hmm.
the bus driver was injured again. The bus driver's job is to transport your child safely from point A to point B. Their job is not discipline. So if
Mm-hmm.
you already know what you're putting on the bus, maybe it's best that you take your child to school.
Yes.
You take them, or you figure out how to get them to school. Because remember, that big bus is like a missile when it's on the road with all that
Correct.
disruption and fighting going down on the bus. Nobody puts their child on the bus with the expectation that they're getting ready to be beat, bullied, and so on and so forth. Have the
Mm-hmm.
conversation with your children. You know what you have. You know what you're
Mm-hmm.
sending. So again, have the conversation. And if not, fill up the gas and get ready to take them to school. Because it has to
Thank you.
stop. Somebody's child is going to be hurt. And I would hate to think that we have to wait till something is deadly before we
Horrible.
do something. It has to stop.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So yeah, please, just pay attention and pay attention, and just really, again, because and this applies not just to children in school, but also to adults. Please tell your children, don't let your children make idle threats or put their hands on people and adults, because we're not doing that. This world is just too much. This America is the school shooting capital of the world. Okay, so we take everything seriously, everything. Ain't got time to play around. Okay, so please, again, just please, just stay in your child
And let's
business.
go a
That's
little bit
your
further than
child.
that since we're here. And if
Yeah.
your child is making those types of threats to a school board, a school employee outside of leadership, teachers, because that we're the ones that in most cases will fall into that line of fire. Don't be in
Mm-hmm.
shock when the adult wants to press charges. Don't be in
Exactly.
shock, because we see sometimes what your children are capable of. So if they are that boldly and have criminal histories, we can't wait till after the fact for something to happen. Why would I wait till after the fact? If a kid is telling me they're going to punch me, do this, that, why would I wait till after the fact? And
Mm-hmm.
should we have
Because
to wait till after the fact to say that certain adults that are school employees are more important to where something would be done instantly versus something
correct.
being done immediate? It doesn't matter who you are. If I work as a school employee, something should be done immediately, not after the fact. So again, do something. Do something
Correct.
sooner than later. Do
Thank you.
something. Because I
We
promise you, I'm not going to stand around and just keep receiving threats from nobody's child. That's a
thank
promise.
you.
So we're either
That's a
going to do
promise.
something on campus or we're going to take it off the campus and get something done. Because I can
Correct.
promise you, a school board member would not warrant it to be okay. Something would be done immediately. Leadership in our school would want something done immediately. So teachers should not be at the bottom of the totem pole, especially when we're interacting with children on a day-to-day basis. Do something and do something now.
Mm-hmm. And again, remember your trauma. It makes it more difficult for you to go into the work environment and do your job. And then on top of all the other stressors of I gotta have the grades perfect. I gotta have this done right. I gotta have this. I gotta have meetings. But you ain't worried about my mental health. My
Verbal
mental health
abuse
is
is
I feel
unacceptable
trauma.
and always none.
I'm traumatized, but we were talking about some scores. I don't give a damn about no scores. I'm traumatized. Okay. Just to close that up by telling you, a Massachusetts school staffer dies after she's allegedly kicked in the chest by a 14-year-old student. This ain't how you want to go to a job. The woman was only 53 years old. You ain't trying to go to work to die by a child. I would haunt you the rest of your natural life. I mean, I would be haunting you every single. I would be just in your. I mean, and then on top of that, the whole family gonna sue your whole family. I mean, why are you going to work to be so demeaned and then killed on the job? No. So again, we saying to you parents, I mean, if you got child got anger management issues, please get help.
And we didn't touch bases on the number of children in Florida that are being, paraded in handcuffs, walked into the jail
Mm-hmm.
cell for these
Yes.
online Instagram posts about shooting up schools. If we have not
Correct.
learned yet, you cannot, you now that's, and you know what I find so interesting? You got 8-year-olds, I think it was an 8-year-old in Volusia County, a 13-year-old and
Mm-hmm.
another child. They posted online what they was going to do. In most cases, I'm pretty sure they probably didn't have the accessibility, but a kid can verbally say what he's going to do to you, and nothing is done. Make it
Nothing.
sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
I digress. So again,
Yes.
we will be back next month on
November 16th.
November 16th. I don't have it in front of me. So again, we greatly appreciate y'all joining us for this evening, and we're excited to bring forth new information on November the 16th. And if y'all have topics y'all want us to talk about, dig down a little bit
Yes.
deeper, send them. We will
Yeah.
be more than happy to do so. I am April
Exactly.
Cobb, and
Hey, I'm
yeah, let's get this thing wrapped up.
underneath
Because
caviar.
I think
And
Denise is
listen,
froze or I have froze.
you probably froze, but I'll just say, want to thank our fabulous, fantastic, phenomenal
Somebody's frozen.
producer, Bianca Goolsby from Teaching for the Culture. So we want to thank you so much. And I know April's getting
Is
ready
it
to go.
me? Is it me? Is it me?
It was you. So we're going to have a lovely evening. We're going to have a lovely evening, everyone. And thank you. And shout out to Teaching for the Culture once more again for our show. And Spirit Fingers. Good night.